What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Earth Mac, the mad scientist, and I have a small favor to ask you guys. Small favor, just a little bit. Go ahead and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go ahead and comment under our videos. And I got something else very special for you guys. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. So all you gotta do is go to our website. Go ahead and visit our website at www.orangephoenixmedia.com. I know what it says at the top. I know it says Orange Phoenix 2017, but it redirects you to this website. Through this website, you get access to our magazine. Our most latest edition is one around Christmas, and that's for Orange Phoenix Magazine, the Christmas edition. Before that, we got the Black Panther edition. Not only that, you can go back to past issues, because if you feel like you missed out on some couple things, you can go back and check it out all the way to our very first issue back in 2020, all the way up to our current issue. Now, I will tell you, we got a new issue coming out this month for the month of January for the new year. Cannot wait for you guys to check that out. We will be coming out in a few weeks. So go ahead and check that out. As well, if you click on the apparel page, it's hoodie season, y'all. It's hoodie season. Do not get your hoodie stolen. But we got some hoodies here. If you click on the apparel section through our website, we got some Black Panther gear. We got some Orange Phoenix gear as well. Universal Studios. I know y'all close to Ironheart. We got some Ironheart stuff, Submariner. We got some Shazam. We got Black Adam, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Check that out. Leo, Donnie, Ralph, Mike, Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer. You need to go ahead and check that out from us. OrangePhoenixMedia.com. Go ahead and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode of the Orange Phoenix Show. All right, check it out. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Earth Mac, the mad scientist, and this is the Orange Phoenix Show. Man, we got a bunch of news that just came through our wire, and I mean, it's like hot off the press. Hot off the press. Like, seriously. I mean, it might not be hot off the press by the time we actually, post this recording or whatever, but we just got news that Stephanie McMahon has resigned as co-CEO of the WWE. Now, we got the article right here. We're going to share it real quick. We got to show it to you. Through CBR.com. It says co-CEO Stephanie McMahon steps down following Vince McMahon's return. Stephanie McMahon has officially stepped down as co-CEO and chairwoman of the WWE. Now, this shakeup in leadership at the professional wrestling giant comes less than a week after Stephanie's father, Vince McMahon, was reinstated to the company's board of directors after retiring amid controversy last year. Now, you already know about the allegations and all the other stuff, which forced Vince to step down, and Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon was co-CEOs of the company, and Triple H was head of creative. The morale was actually good in the locker room, actually better, so the rumors say. So this shake-up, I don't know how the locker room is feeling with this, but either way, Stephanie McMahon shares news of her resignation in a statement posted to Twitter. Dear WWE Universe, she wrote, about 8 months ago, I took leave of absence, and within a few weeks, unexpectedly had the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the privilege to return as co-CEO and chairwoman of the board of the WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am to have led what I consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I have known in my co-CEO, Nick Khan. Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned as executive chair and is leading an exciting process regarding strategic alternatives. Now, McMahon continues, says that, and with Nick's leadership and Paul Triple H Levesque as chief content officer, I am confident WWE is in perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value for shareholders. WWE is in such a strong position that I have decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation. I look forward to cheering on WWE from the other side of the business, where I started when I was a little kid, as a pure fan. I will always remain dedicated to WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans. And I am grateful to all of our partners. Thank you for everything, then, now, forever, together. So, I mean, like I said, this is some brand new news that actually came through. A lot of people may have forgotten of the fact that Stephanie did take a leave of absence, and with the whole allegations with Vince McMahon, he was forced to step down. And of course, all this stuff, all these changes was happening. Through these changes, through this new regime, people that were future endeavored, most of them actually came back. You got Bray Wyatt coming back. You got Johnny Gargano coming back. You got Hit Row coming back. Braun Strowman came back. So all these people that were released due to budget cuts or whatever the case may be, they are back. And the locker room morale, like I was saying earlier, it was better. So like I said, I'm not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination. I have not been in that locker room. I don't know any WWE wrestlers personally, but this is, strictly from opinion standpoint. I'm not sure how that morale is going to be now that Vince is back as executive chair, because there also been rumors of selling the company, and Vince has pretty much the share of the company. I mean, he decides yay or nay, right, and rightfully so. I mean, look at what he's done with the WWE. I mean, he made it a global entity. So why wouldn't he have say so in a company that he flourished? So with that, with selling the company, there's been rumors circling that he may want to become head of creative once again, which that kind of leaves Triple H in limbo, but we don't know for certain what's going to happen with that. Triple H has done a phenomenal job with the company, as a whole. I mean, the morale is up, the content is better. I find myself looking at WWE content a lot more, especially with Raw and SmackDown, because before Triple H, I was not watching Raw in its entirety. I was skipping, I was doing all this other stuff. And so now the storylines is a little bit better. It doesn't insult my intelligence per se. Triple H has he was a pro wrestler, he's retired, but look at what he's done with NXT Black and Gold. Look what he did with the Black and Gold brand. I mean, literally, it was probably the best pro wrestling show of the week. And with the content that they was putting out with Triple H and company with NXT, they were rivaling the main roster's pay-per-views. I mean, in my opinion, I feel like 80% of NXT pay-per-views were better than the main roster's pay-per-views when it was the Black and Gold brand. And it was Triple H, at the helm, and Shawn Michaels and Steven Regal and Road Dogg, all those guys. So, with the whole changing of the guard with NXT 2.0, which I can't stand that, because I wish it would have stayed at Black and Gold brand. But, with the whole situation with AEW and the competition, and that will cause the change. I mean, nobody can tell me different. That will cause the change, because NXT Black and Gold was losing out in the ratings. They weren't going out of business or anything like that, but there was this sudden change, and a change that, quite frankly, I didn't like. And honestly, I stopped watching NXT 2.0. I mean, I caught a few matches here and there, but that energy that Black and Gold brand had, that passion that I felt when I watched it, I no longer had it. Not discrediting any of the performers that was at NXT 2.0, that are at NXT 2.0, because I know they are phenomenal talents, but the overall energy of the place, it just was different. Now that Vince is back, I'm gonna be honest, I don't look for any sudden changes. I'm not looking for people get just released and storylines just get scrapped and you just start from scratch. Don't look for stuff like that. That's not going to happen. Maybe after WrestleMania season is over, then you might see some changes here and there. But as far as the storylines that performers are involved in, don't look for these sudden changes and people getting released and people getting scrapped, or people that were getting pushed, not getting pushed anymore. Don't put that in your head. Don't have that circling in your head. Now, changes will happen, but don't look for those changes like right away. It's going to be some months before you see that. And I mean, Stephanie and Nick Khan and Triple H have done a phenomenal job since Vince's absence. Talking to other wrestling fans that not overly critical, because sometimes we get wrestling fans that are real fickle, that that just want to bash a wrestling company just because it's that wrestling company. It's not the wrestling company I support. So I'm going to just bash everything they do. I might be an AEW guy and I'm going to bash WWE. I might be a WWE guy and bash everything AEW. You know, I'm not that type of fan. So to my Geek Corner members, I just hold on, man. It's a roller coaster of a ride. Who Vince is going to sell this company to? That's up in the air. We don't know that for sure. We don't know who he's going to sell it to and what is part of this deal of this sale or if it's going to be sold. But that's what's going on. Now, speaking of, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Now, he is, of course, once again, chairman of the board, chairman of the WWE. Now, Vince McMahon, WWE today announced that the board of directors unanimously elected Vince McMahon executive chairman of the board. The professional wrestling giant said in an official statement, this news comes shortly after Stephanie McMahon announced her resignation as co-CEO and chairman of the WWE following her father's return to the company's board. Nick Khan will serve as WWE's sole CEO moving forward, which is another change that we've gotten. So Nick Khan goes from co-CEO to CEO, and Vince McMahon is the chairman of the board. So, I mean, it seems like some things are moving and shaking and getting back to some kind of stage of, you know, normalcy, if that's the right word to use in that situation. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. Don't hit the panic button just yet. Don't hit the panic button. Now, I can give you my thoughts and opinions on what I think will happen. There are some free agents out there. And maybe coming back to WWE may not be as appetizing now as it once was if Triple H and Stephanie and Nick Khan was running and Vince was no longer there. I mean, there's rumors circling that Jay White's contract is expiring soon, especially after Wrestle Kingdom 17. If you haven't seen Wrestle Kingdom 17, please, I implore you, please go see Wrestle Kingdom 17. Go to njpwworld.com. Go ahead and subscribe. It's very cheap. Like, I think it's like maybe $10 a month. It's not overly expensive. You can look at New Year's Dash, Wrestle Kingdom Night 1. Night 2 is coming up in a couple of weeks. Definitely check that out. Wrestle Kingdom 17 did not disappoint by any stretch of the imagination, especially Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. The junior tag team titles, Hikuleo. I really, really enjoyed that match with Hikuleo. Kazuchika Okada versus Jay White. Great match. Great match. Now, going back to the whole Vince McMahon situation. Now, I will share this with you. It said Vince McMahon stated, first, I'd like to express my full support for Stephanie's personal decision. I'll forever be grateful that she offered to step in during my absence, and I'm truly proud of the job she did co-leading WWE. Stephanie has always been the ultimate ambassador for our company, and her decades of contributions have left an immeasurable impact on our brand. I'm proud to announce that Nick Khan will serve as WWE CEO, and Nick's business acumen and mastery of the media industry have helped catapult our business to record revenue and profitability. Now, together, we look forward to working with the board at this critical moment in time to review our strategic alternatives and maximize value for all WWE shareholders. Now, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but that lets me know off rip that there might be some sales going on. There might be some business transactions going on. So, something, on another note, something did actually kind of caught me. Per NoDQ.com, it was like a WWE executive or someone in WWE stated something about Mercedes Moné. She made an appearance at Wrestle Kingdom 17. And they're like, well, once you get Japan out of her system, we're very confident that she's going to come back. That wasn't Triple H or Stephanie or anybody like that. That was just somebody within WWE. Like, that statement alone, I don't want to read too much into that, but it feels like don't shortchange Japan, okay? I mean, don't ever shortchange Japan by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, if you really look at New Japan Pro Wrestling and what they've been able to do with Wrestle Kingdom, I think this is the first Wrestle Kingdom that actually had WWE, Noah, Stardom, and AEW wrestlers and NJPW wrestlers all in one venue. It something about Wrestle Kingdom feels like it's the Olympics of pro wrestling. And I really, really, really respect that. So for somebody to say, oh, wait, when she get Japan out of the system, she's going to come back. I don't know, man. Like, Mercedes is doing a lot of good things. I mean, she's been part of the Mandalorian. She got Japanese dates for New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, who knows? You might see her in AEW. I mean, if I was Tony Khan, if I had the checkbook, I will personally go see Mercedes. Personally, I will personally see her. I will fly her out, or whatever she needs, I'm gonna go see her. Whatever kind of money she wants, I'm gonna throw it at her within reason, and put on a contract. And then anything that she wants to do outside of AEW, obviously you've seen the AEW talent, you've seen the other things they have done, the vlogs, the blogs, going to other wrestling promotions and winning belts over there. And it's a certain level of freedom that AEW has that WWE is kind of loosening the reins on, but they still got some screws there. You know, if I'm Mercedes, I'm gonna definitely be a free agent for a while. I wouldn't join either company for right now. I would just enjoy life, enjoy what I'm doing, and then when the decision is to be made, then I'll make that decision, and then chances are I might go to AEW. You know that, and she got support from Bayley. She got support from Naomi. Mandy Rose, that's another hot free agent right now. If I was AEW, I would definitely continue to bolster the women's roster, because since Saraya came in, it's just an observation that I made. Since Saraya made her debut in AEW, I've seen a lot more women on TV. Longer matches, classic matches. The crowd is into it. And I think the most recent pay-per-view, I think there was at least 3 women's matches on the card. And all of them was good. All of them were good. And I'm not sure, I don't know what position Saraya has in the locker room, but I feel like her influence, the moment she stepped foot there was more women's matches from that day. Like, she just, I don't know. It seemed like she was the figurehead of the revolution of AEW, the women's revolution of AEW. And I like that. I see in the future that eventually, like maybe in another year and a half, a couple of years, there'll be an all women's AEW pay-per-view. Man, you think I want to pay money to see that? I'm paying money to see that. I'm paying money to see that all day. All day. You know, you got the Jade Cargills, your Britt Bakers, your Sarayas. Man, I mean, you got all these people. Jamie Hayter. Shout out to Jamie Hayter, man. She is super over. Super over. I mean, she might be a heel, but damn it, she got the crowd. She got the crowd behind her 110%. And whoever Saraya, I feel like there's a ram in the bush, because Saraya's partner is Tony Storm, but I feel like Tony might not make it. I feel like Hikaru Shida might turn heel, maybe. Might beat the shit out of Tony Storm. And now Saraya don't even have a partner. Or so we think. Who that partner may be. Would it be Mercedes? Or maybe Mandy Rose? Who knows? Who knows? But I think right now, as a free agent, WWE don't seem so appetizing to me right now. There's a lot of changes going on. There's a lot of, the morale is up, but the man is back. So I don't know how I feel about that. Where do I fit in if there's more changes to be made? If I sign this contract right here, I might get pushed this week and don't get pushed next week. I don't like that kind of level of uncertainty. That don't sit right with me by no stretch of the imagination. I don't feel comfortable. So we will see. Only time will tell when all the smoke is cleared, when everything's kind of like settled in and get back to what it is. Because if you're looking for a sudden change right now, it's not happening. You got the Royal Rumble showing up. You got WrestleMania, right after that. You got your big two at the beginning of the year. Your Royal Rumbles and your WrestleManias. Don't count on it. Don't count on sudden changes. I mean, Royal Rumble, if The Rock don't show up at Royal Rumble, then my guess is Cody. I have said this in ad nauseum. I have said this. Who will face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? If it's not The Rock, it better be Cody. It better be Cody. Because Cody's whole purpose in coming back to WWE is to win the WWE Championship. So why not? Why not? Now we got some more news out here for you. And that is Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, on the screen rant, I seen that trailer. That trailer looked badass, completely badass. And speaking of ass, look like Kang is gonna whoop a lot of ass in this movie. Now, here's Kang the Conqueror. Now, they did list 13 things that you may have noticed in the trailer. Starting with Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, introduces Kang the Conqueror. Now, it says that Majors already played another variant of Kang in the MCU, He Who Remains, but the two characters are very different. Kang has an ominous and brooding presence, and his voice carries a sense of threat and danger. Now, the trailer appears to suggest that Kang knows a great deal about Scott Lang, perhaps because of his time travel exploits. Scott has become something of a celebrity in the modern MCU, even writing an autobiography, and it's possible Kang has access to these historical records. Kang is known for dealing with time. So those of you that may not know about Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Comics, time and Kang are like this. And you need to check out the Avengers, because Kang the Conqueror is definitely in the Avengers. Not the movies, but the cartoon. Avengers Mightiest Heroes. Kang the Conqueror is definitely in there. Now, number 12 out of 13, it says Scott Lang has become famous. Now, the opening shots of Ant-Man and the Wasp set up Scott Lang's personal world, which has changed a lot since the events of Avengers Endgame. Phase 4 has already established that Scott has gone public about his time among the Avengers, conducting a series of podcasts, and Ant-Man's fame was particularly visible in Ms. Marvel's AvengerCon. Now, you got to pick up on the little nuances there. Now, there have been reports Scott will have just published an autobiography at the beginning of Quantumania, and a number of these opening shots may be from his press tour. Now, 11 and 13 says Cassie Lang is taken after her father. Now, I'm speculating looking at this trailer, because you already know when it comes to Marvel trailers, there's a sense of misdirection, having people thinking one thing, and when the movie comes out, it's something totally opposite of what you thought it was going to happen. So I'm thinking maybe Kang is messing up with time, Scott Lang is messing with time, and this is one of the results of this tampering with time. Now, it says Cassie has always hero worshipped her dad, but Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer hints that she's taken after him in the worst possible ways. One shot shows Scott collecting his daughter from prison. Although it's unclear why she was arrested, she may well have broken the law as part of some sort of activist cause. Now, Scott himself was originally in prison after conducting a Robin Hood-style crime against a corrupt company. Now, no doubt he's left wishing he lived a different life, one that has set Cassie on a different journey. So we don't know about this. Now, also number 10 out of 13, how Ant-Man family becomes stranded in the quantum realm. Now, after the experiment goes wrong, previous trailers have shown a slightly different version of these shots, so the precise circumstances may change still. Based on the evidence so far, Cassie appears to have developed technology that sends a signal down to the quantum realm. In the previous trailer, Janet Van Dyne desperately attempted to turn the device off, but it was too late. Janet had been trapped in the quantum realm for decades, so she understands the forces down there, and she has likely crossed paths with Kang the Conqueror many times. So I remember seeing the teaser before, and it seems like she know who this cat is. She's like, look, this ain't the man you need to be fucking with. This ain't the problems that you want here. You know what I mean? So the Ant-Man family are drawn into the quantum realm through the flare of blue energy. This color seems to be associated with Kang the Conqueror's armor and weapons, although it's difficult to say whether it's a deeper meaning. The quantum realm is adapted from the comic book dimension called the Microverse, which has blue power called the Enigma Force, and Kang could well be tapping into the Enigma Force. Next up is his mask. Those of us that are comic book nerds know how Kang looks in the comics. Would it translate well in a movie? Not so much, considering. But as it says, Kang's face is concealed by a blue mask. Marvel Studios has reinvented this mask, turning it into an energy field or shield that forms in front of his face, presumably designed to help him survive the inhospitable atmospheres. It's a smart reinvention, way of paying homage to the comics while updating a design that is frankly a little dated. Yes, that outfit that Kang the Conqueror has is dated. There's no other way to say that. It's very much dated. Now, also in the trailer, Kang offers Scott a deal. Like, that deal just reminds me of Spider-Man, but less. You're like, oh, well, the one thing that you missed was time. You missed time with your daughter growing up. He wants to get that time back. Bro, you helped save the world in Endgame by tampering with time. You got your life back, dog. Don't be selfish, man. Don't be out here. But you're messing with Kang the Conqueror. As you've been warned, this is the man you're not to be fucking with. Because by the end of that trailer, now you got to do something for him, or else I'm gonna take your family away from you. Now you trapped. You ain't ready to fine print, my man. You ain't ready to fine print. Now, previous Marvel movies has indeed established that tampering with the forces of causality can cause chaos on the multiversal level. Temporal manipulations can create branches in time. Wong warned Doctor Strange as he experimented with the Time Stone. Unstable dimensional openings, spatial paradoxes, time loops. These are all forces Kang plays with, and he understands the nature of time well enough to control such unpredictable effects and weaponize them. Now, it also stated that he's filled with regret and nothingness because he wishes he had more time with his daughter, Cassie. Now, Kang offers Scott a deal if he helps Kang in some unknown way, performing a heist of some kind. Kang will rewrite history on Scott's behalf. Scott has a second chance, another shot at life, one where he can avoid the mistakes that separated him from his family. Now, it's possible the offer of time conceals another subplot that Scott has major health troubles and wishes to put those right. That could be this deal. Now, another thing that I really paid attention to is Kang City, and there were several like Easter eggs out there. Now, one of the things I noticed is like, wait a minute, this is Chronopolis. So Chronopolis sits outside the time in a realm called Limbo. Now, to mention that every time traveler passed through, Limbo has probably been absorbed in the MCU's quantum realm, making Chronopolis a logical part of the quantum realm. Hopefully, Marvel will explore some of the secrets of Chronopolis, which is one of Marvel's most fascinating locations. Each block of Chronopolis extends to the ends of the earth in a different time period. Now, the more primitive time periods are on the outskirts, and the more technologically advanced is closer to the middle, and the heart is the Kang's citadel. Now, the pyramidal structure is probably a subtle reference to a variant of Kang named Pharaoh Ramatut, subtly teased in MCU's Moon Knight. The circular motifs are reminiscent of another MCU design, Shang-Chi, 10 Rings. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings ended with the revelation these mysterious rings have sent a signal across the multiverse. I'm sorry. So they may be connected to Kang and Chronopolis in some way. There's a lot of Easter eggs here. Now, also what you've seen in the trailer is a lot of creatures in the microverse. And one of the things that, you know, people have been saying, like, how the microverse look, what's going on? We see glimpses of it, but in the quantum realm and Quantumania, you get to see more of these alien-like beings in the microverse. So you're definitely going to see that. Now, it also states that Ant-Man's memories could be a part of the quantum realm, as you saw glimpses of his daughter as a small age and him hugging his daughter. So it might be one of them situations where Kang is actually tampering with time. Now, also the army appears. Now, this is true to the comics, where Kang gathered together the best warriors from across the history in his service. Includes twisted versions of the Avengers. Attentive viewers will notice the trademark blue colors and the repeated rain motifs. So, will you see the Avengers? I doubt it. This is Ant-Man movie, so. But I did see several Ant-Mans. We may get to that. Number 3 out of 13 is my personal favorite. Is MODOK. People have been asking, hey, when you going to see MODOK? And I already know it's like a running joke about Mephisto. Like any conspiracy theories with Marvel, oh, that might be Mephisto. Oh, this shaped like Mephisto. I wasn't really worried about that too much, but I really was concerned with MODOK, like when he's going to appear. And right here is this appearance. Now, MODOK, the mental organism designed only for killing, a classic Marvel villain. MODOK has been even starting his own short-lived animated TV series, which you can find on Hulu. Now, he's been heavily redesigned for the MCU, and this iteration doesn't even look organic at all, but rather seems to be a reboot. Kang has always tended to collect the most powerful weapons from across time, so it makes sense for him to have MODOK, but the new design will be controversial. I have no issues with his design. I know MODOK is supposed to be like this human head mutated and all this other stuff, but I'm all right with that. I'm all right with MODOK looking like this. This is okay to me. This is not going to say I'm not going to freaking see this movie because MODOK don't look right. How many times that the MCU didn't 100% with 100% accuracy depict the character, and we still love the movie? So this don't bother me at all. I was actually more excited than anything. Now, number 2, Ant-Man said we both have to lose. Now, also, there's a delightful power imbalance between the two. Kang is an Avengers level threat, meaning Ant-Man is completely out of his depth. He was getting his ass whooped in that trailer. I'm just being frank with you. Now, Marvel's trailer seems to imply that Ant-Man will die fighting Kang, but he may well consider this price worth paying. Ant-Man knows he can't win against Kang, but he's hatched a plan that will mean they both lose. For Scott, that presumably means no more time with his family, whether through death or because he is stranded in the multiverse. So there you go. So now, number 1, Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer eschews the traditional Marvel-style joke ending, assuring viewers there is a very different kind of Ant-Man film. It ends on an emotional note, with Scott Lang overwhelmed by an army of Ant-Man variants, apologizing to Cassie as she watches him fall. In the comics, Scott's death inspired Cassie to become a superhero stature. The MCU has been setting up Cassie's own superhero career since 2015, and this will complete her evolution. Still, viewers would be wise not to assume. Let me highlight this. Viewers would be wise not to assume this is the case. Marvel trailers are known for their misdirection. How many times have we looked at how many times have we looked at an MCU trailer and we said, oh man, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. You've seen several YouTube videos about conspiracy theories and who this person is. And then once you see the movie, none of, like, at least 75% of it is not true. But you need something to tickle your palate, right? Because usually with these MCU trailers, you got a minute before you even watch the movie. You got months before you go watch the movie, right? So, you got to tickle your palate a little bit. You got to see what's going on a little bit. But I think this probably going to be one of the sleepers when it comes to movies. I feel like this is going to be a very good success, a very big success. And I mean, I know I talked to my co-host Thanos Rick about this being the year of the DC universe, because you got Aquaman, you got Flash, you got Blue Beetle coming out. Titans is still going, and you got James Gunn pretty much revamping the DCU. I mean, it seems as though he started from scratch. But looking at Ant-Man and Quantumania, this might be. Marvel always throw out daggers. Let's be honest. MCU always come out with this straight heat. DC sometimes has some heaters. Sometimes they don't. I mean, we talked about it on a previous show. that Henry Cavill was shown to us, then they snatched him away from us. Black Adam is not part of the DCU. And, if Henry Cavill's not there, you're scrapping Wonder Woman 3. Is Gal Gadot's going to still be there? Ben Affleck, obviously he's not coming back. So there's a certain level of uncertainty in the DCU, right? But when it comes to the MCU, there's no level of uncertainty. Now, some fans are just bored because, all right, I get it. For years, you've watched these movies to the point where you find Thanos, and now Thanos is no longer the threat because he's been killed, basically. And there's a certain period. See, you got to understand something. It's not like bad guy. You got to set up for the next big bad guy. Maybe Kang is the next big bad guy. I mean, if you look at Moon Knight, you look at Hawkeye, you look at the aftermath of the Endgame, how people was coping. I mean, Hawkeye having survivor's remorse and dealing with that type of trauma. I mean, he lost his best friend. He lost Tony. The Avengers are disbanded. There's no more Avengers. Captain America's gone. Hawkeye's one of the only survivors. I mean, that's why Hawkeye, to me, is like one of my favorite Marvel series. Falcon Winter Soldier is definitely. That's my number one. So, you look at the aftermath of the Endgame and what Thanos has done, and like how he affected other people. I mean, with Spider-Man and all that. And people are like, well, it's a slow, things going a little slow. I mean, it's supposed to. I mean, whenever you have this big finale, you got to tone it down a little bit so you can get back up. It's like a roller coaster of emotions. I mean, we've seen this in Walking Dead, which is one of my favorite series of all time. I mean, there's always a sense of quietness after a big fight. You can't just have that happen every day. It's character development, people. Character development. But since this is our first show of the year, shout out to my co-host Thanos Red, because he is a Georgia Bulldogs fan. Georgia Bulldogs put a slacking, an ass whooping, if you will, on TCU. I mean, it was horrible. It was bad. To the point where the players was going to get chicken wings and coming back to eat on the sideline. That's how bad this ass whooping was with TCU. I mean, it was epic. Ass whooping of epic proportions. Wasn't even a championship game. So glad you guys was able to actually check us out on our YouTube channel. Do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we will be back with some more geekdom goodness. Shout out to the Geek Corner. Also join our Facebook group page, and then just click on the link below and take you straight to our group page. And you talk with people like-minded like us, and also difference of opinion, because healthy debates is healthy debates. Do not forget to comment. If I miss anything, do not forget to comment, and we will be back. All right, peace.